Hello, 大家好. This month of April is a very special month, in my opinion, for many reasons. It's considered a literary month because, first and foremost, it is Poetry Month, and I just finished reading this book. It's called The Life of Tufu, or Dufu, the Chinese poet, and it's a reimagining of his poems, and it's an interesting little volume. It was published by Elliot Weinberger in 2024, and it's a very slim volume. There were some interesting lines in it that I don't know, they just popped out at me, jumped out at me, whatever you'd say. And one was, "Friends with good jobs have stopped writing." What was he thinking? What was going through his head many years ago when he wrote that? And then on page 39, there's another one. The end of a section, it says, "Letters rarely come." He was waiting for somebody to write him, some friend to sit and write him a letter about whatever. Page 48. I wish I could talk with someone. Sounds like a lonely guy, kind of. And then finally, on page 60, he says, "Your letter came. You're alive." So, yeah, this is a small volume. Very slim, easy to read in a couple minutes, but it has to do with poetry. Famous poet of Du Fu. And here's another one. This is by Maxine Hong Kingston, entitled "To Be a Poet." And this is an older volume. I don't remember where I got it, but I picked it up somewhere. And it's poems and reflections and just little thoughts. Throughout. Here's a small bit. It says, "Try for poetry day and night. Try in various places." So it's an interesting book. It's just random thoughts and inspirations she had. And every once in a while, there's a little drawing of some sort, illustration of whatever was on her mind at the time. And this was copywritten in 2002. I recently wrote a poem myself. And it was about sitting by the seashore and enjoying the waves. I haven't memorized it. I just jotted it down with the inspiration that I had in the moment that I was sitting there along the California coast. And inspiration struck, so I wrote something down. And here's the poem itself. Sat here beside the lapping waves, serene blue water enshrines the rockiest enclaves. As I soak in the sandy bays, my soul ocean serenity craves. Each turquoise hue ceaselessly laves. As my spirit in calmness waves, aside the stress of days, peacefulness envelops, nay, engraves. Throughout my being, am I one with these waves? This month, as I said earlier, is also very much a literary month, along with it being Poetry Month. On April 2nd is, or was rather, International Children's Book Day. And I didn't realize that, though within the last 2 weeks, I did pick up a children's book. Called The Lucky Red Envelope, and it is about Chinese New Year celebrations. It's got lots of great shiny illustrations. Forgive the lighting in this room, it's abysmal. Doing my best here. And as you can see, it's a lift the flap and discover what's inside book. So all throughout there are little places where you find something hidden inside. What's inside, like what's inside the rice cooker. Throughout the whole book, it's like that. And being that I'm a dragon in the Chinese zodiac system, an earth dragon to be exact, 屠龙，我生小屠龙的。There is a page celebrating the Dragon Parade. Very brilliantly colored illustrations. Captivates one's attention. And yeah. So this is The Lucky Red Envelope by Vicky Zhong. And it's a nice hardcover edition. perfect for introducing your child to their, whether if they're Chinese, their Chinese culture, or introducing them to a completely new culture, that so they can learn about other children's ways of life. And also this week, from the 19th to the 25th, is National Library Week. And I have spent many hours over many years, going through libraries, specifically Friends of the Libraries bookstores. And recently, I was at a local Friends of the Library bookstore and was very happy to be able to find this book, a traditional Chinese copy of Wild Swans by Jun Chang, and in perfect condition. I mean, it's been used, obviously, but it's a great copy, and because it is a traditional edition, there's something interesting about this book, and that is that you can see upon opening it that the text is vertical instead of horizontal, and we would say in English that it's read from the we would think of it as being read backwards, because it's backwards in our way of thinking, but in the Chinese traditional way of writing, which is still used in Taiwan and Hong Kong and overseas Chinese communities, such as in San Francisco, Chinatown, New York City, Chinatown, Montpellier, the Tangrenjie, Montreal's Chinatown, Vancouver's, all the Chinatowns. Many of them would still speak Cantonese and would still be using the traditional script of Chinese, which is still widely used in Taiwan. They have not adapted to the simplified Chinese, which is used in mainland China. So anyway, back to this book. It's a very famous book. I was very excited to find this wonderful copy of it. And of course, I read the English book many, many years ago. And so libraries are important. They provide access to a compendium of knowledge that you don't need money for, unless you're going to buy a used book at the little stores. But within the library itself, you just need to have a library card and you can access any book you want. Nowadays, of course, there's access to the internet and perhaps printers, places where people can go to study, obviously. They often have study rooms off to the side from the main halls, where it's quieter and you can sit and think and write and do whatever you need to do. And yeah, Library Week, it's upon us. It's still happening. April 12 is another day that happens, and I didn't realize it was a thing, but it's called Drop Everything and Read Day. So I guess it's to commemorate Beverly Cleary, her birthday or something, but yeah. today is also, happily for me, because it's one of my main interests, is the fact that it is Chinese Language Day according to the United Nations. And I recently picked up this book, Chinese and the Diaspora, Multilingual Practices and Chinese Identity in LA, Los Angeles, by Fei Yangtian. And several things interesting just kind of about the book. It was published on April 16th of this year. And it's dealing with how the various Chinese dialects spoken in the LA, Los Angeles area are as important as the Mandarin that has become the standardized language within mainland China itself. And it's going through the various multilingual Chinese communities there in Los Angeles. And I recently, a couple months ago, spent the day down in some of those areas, a couple of those towns, and it was a fun day going to different bookstores and visiting various shops and drive down street after street after street, and you would think you're in China, because it's not just a Chinatown in the sense of like San Francisco's Tangrenjie. It's just a regular city, but every car mechanic, every laundromat, every grocery store, law practice, physician, they're all owned and operated by Chinese-speaking people, and Chinese clientele are going in and out, and the billboards are in Chinese, even some of the street signs. So I had a good day there, found a number of great books, and really enjoyed my day down in Southern California. And yes, today is Chinese Language Day, and there may be some of you that would understand words like gung-ho, or the phrase in English, long time no see, which came from Pidgin Chinese many years ago and were adapted into English. Long time no see is a literal translation of the Chinese phrase, 好久不见, which is what you can say to a friend who you haven't seen for quite a while. You can say, hey, 好久不见, 怎么样? Hi, long time no see, what's up? How are you? Gung-ho is a phrase meaning somebody is enthusiastic about doing something. They're ready to go, ready to jump into whatever it is. So they're gung-ho. And yeah, I'm, as you can see, trying out a new wider lens on my video here. I hope it works out and it's clear. The audio is coming through well. Anyway, yeah, this is April, Literary Month.